I will be monitoring everyone's vitals for
I
signs
need to be checking
of
everyone's vitals.
If
Now
I may,
really isn't the time.
I know our encounter with the hunter is the last thing anyone wants to talk about right now, but he said something that I can't get out of my mind. Unity. Do you remember that? Because he was stopping us, implying that we were getting closer to it. The thing is, I've heard that word before. It's an important concept in Keeper Aquilas's speeches.
The priest? Is the Sanctum Universum going to bless our little crusade of discovery?
It can't be a coincidence. The Sanctum has always believed that answers are out there in the stars. Look, I know it's the longest of shots and the biggest leap of faith I could ever ask us all to take, but why not talk to him?
There's no harm in gathering more information. A visit to the Sanctum might actually be quite enlightening.
Thank you. I know it's not much to go on, but something about this feels right. I'll meet you over there.
No more Starborn have shown up.
We really need to talk.
I've been lost.
Hey, I've heard of you. The Explorer, right?
Yes, exactly. It's like...
Keeper Aquilas, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's...
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh, well, what's on both your minds? Oh, yeah. How humanity comes together. How we are to love each other even as our universe becomes even more complex.
That's not exactly what we mean. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps you should talk about this inside.
Hello.
Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly what it is that brought you two here?
They're like nothing we've ever seen, Keeper. Gravitational distortion, sub-audio harmonic sequencing, unidentifiable energy fluctuations.
I caught half of that. So, these things are unusual? Even in your experience? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe, beyond rational thought. We enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet the risk is made anyway. So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here. I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to discovering its meaning. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked the settled systems and saw every corner of it. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity together, but maybe it's more. In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun, and he gave them each a part of the truth. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or contribution to the infinite. But what if the story isn't a metaphor, but a code, a way of finding the pilgrim again, or at least his grave? Yes, something must be there. I just can't put my finger on it. Maybe the answer will become clear when we have more. The House of Enlightenment and Varun have versions of this story. The Enlightened work, Varun work. I visited her a couple of times.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving.
Security scanners, chemical sniffers. United Colonies.
Is there a type of weapon combat tech won't make? Evening, Mom.
A visitor? I have all the company. He knows not the truth.
Perhaps you should hear us out before you decide to cast...
The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made as dust. That is the truth. No more, no less.
Anything you could tell us would be tremendously helpful.
Yes, I have spoken to your keeper about this. I will tell you what I told him. Jinan Varun meets the unbeliever. he gives false prophecy to Jinan. But such is Jinan's conviction in the Great Serpent, he does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jinan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jinan, the unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jinan knows this is blasphemy, and delivers the killing blow. That is all. Then we are done.
This better be important. There's something I need to talk to you about.
Hey there.
You know, I like the Terra Brew uniforms so.
For you. I have something I need to discuss with you.
My mother wanted me to be a doctor.
If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything. Oh, we're not.
We don't mean to be intrusive. Any information you could provide would be very useful.
Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity pilgrim. But since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilas is describing. A man walks into the first house of enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of 2 what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of 2 that. Honestly, I think, fortunately, that got abandoned pretty. Always happy to help.
When you have a few moments, there's something I'd like to discuss. I picked up something you might be interested in.
Well, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. What else did you learn? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. Was there anything else? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. Now, what else? Yes, what he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name of the star system, wouldn't we? Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dumb. Well, that's certainly how I feel. Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum, at 4 and 120. That's where you'll find the Pilgrim's resting place. And from there, maybe you'll find the true meaning of unity. Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their philosophies with you on this journey. I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was, what interpretation would you give it? Ah, but what makes something like that holy? Gravity is also a force that brings things together. Should that be sanctified? It is one of the great contradictions of belief. We feel the presence of something out there, but we insist that it is also everywhere. So you think this word unity describes that divine unknowableness that the Pilgrim searched for?
Ancient humans thought the concept of gravity was miraculous. Until we know more about the unity, we also could be jumping to the wrong conclusions.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been fun, I have to admit. Go, find your truth.
We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course.
I have.
I've visited worlds with temperatures this low before, and it's never been a pleasant experience. We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course. Beautiful sculpture. I suspect it was placed here for some sort of specific purpose, rather than as... There's something I'd like to discuss.
Relationship. You weren't invited to this meeting, but much of our conversation has been about you. I will personally guarantee your safety as long as you come in peace.
And think of it as a ceasefire meeting. Let's just say they're very dedicated to stopping me from getting the artifacts. So if you don't trust me, well, they're your next best bet.
I know your encounters with our kind have not been pleasant, but we are here to talk, and you deserve answers.
Not a bad description, actually.
We'll explain when we meet. In person.
Good. See? We can all get along. For now. Hello. Again. You remember the emissary, perhaps? And their ship, the Helix? I believe they ambushed you above Neon and demanded that artifact you worked so hard to gain.
Thank you for the stellar introduction. Your success is unprecedented. Before you came, we were just discussing how continued use of force against you is unwise. We are not a monolithic people. The Starborn are individuals. Some are united in cause. Others are in it for themselves.
We are all in it for ourselves. Some of us are just more honest. The emissary threatened your ship, demanded you hand over your artifact. How is that so different from what I did?
We needed to warn you off. Every encounter with one of our kind could spell disaster.
For whom, exactly? I say whoever can collect them should. And who gets to say that? You? Me? The emissary? I have debated morality for near infinity, and all I have found are groups of people enforcing their will on others. Rules and laws spoken as principles, but backed by arms and violence.
Enough. We have more to discuss. The Unity. You are on the path to it. It is a place, a gateway. It is where we were reborn.
Not a relatively expendable Dusty anymore, are you? Look at where you've ended up. I'm not who you think I am. This universe is only the first one you've been to. I've seen hundreds. Where I came from, I was the one who stayed at the lodge to protect the artifacts. You died on board the Eye while we held off the Hunter.
One of me, at least.
I collected the remaining artifacts, and they opened the way to the center of my universe, and the doorway to an infinite number of others. That is the Unity. When I stepped into it, I became a Starborn. It's how I've entered other worlds, including yours. They are all connected. I have to. This is bigger than all of us. All the artifacts are needed to complete the armillary and open the way to the Unity. In every universe, the Starborn fight over them. Innocent people die. You've witnessed the power granted by the temples, the anarchy that can be unleashed. Someone has to decide who should get them.
Here it comes. The emissary tells you only the worthy should enter heaven.
You're twisting what I mean.
They're hypocrites. They use the chaos caused by the hunt for the artifacts to establish an order where they decide who's worthy. I attacked your lodge because I wanted the artifacts, and you held me off. You got away. That wasn't some morality play. You didn't survive because of righteousness. You won because of persistence, luck, and skill. As I have done countless times.
I was also human once. But what does it matter who or what I was when eternity is within your grasp? You're learning. My other self wants you to walk the path he walks, to give up, to appreciate the universe you have. Easy for a person who's seen everything, done everything. I think you should see it for yourself.
You've never come this far. Not in all the universes I've seen. The path to the Unity is opening to you.
You're going to tip the scales one way or another. Better your hand be on one of our sides. Bingo.
I want a truce between all three of us. Give you some time to think over which approach to the Unity is the one you want. Mine or the Hunter's?
Yes. Let's see how willing you are to live under someone else's rules. Just remember, one of us isn't trying to judge you.
Before you leave, I want to give you something. A way to another artifact, but also a lesson in how dangerous they can be. Seek the moon of old Earth. There are secrets there you must discover for yourself. Here, to open the way. Yes, I will say no more. And I am sorry. I hope you should also talk to your colleagues in Constellation. I am sure that they have gathered more information on the remaining artifacts in the fringes of space. Part of me wonders what they will all say about what you have learned. But I will leave that to you.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you. When you have a few moments, there's something I'd like to discuss.
Hey, I've been talking with the others, and I'd like to get everyone together. To say goodbye. You know, to Barrett. Thank you. It wouldn't be the same without you there. I'll have everything set up in a few days.
Mateo told us about your pilgrim's voyage.
You found it, didn't you? The meaning of unity. This is kind of awkward. Wait, say that again? Multiple universes?
You can't possibly mean what I think you mean.
Let's take a step back. This is everything we've been building towards, and the implications are a lot to take in. Could you explain the part about multiple universes one more time for everyone?
Yes, I wouldn't mind a little more detail.
And that's why the Starborn want the artifacts so desperately. They're the keys to unlocking the infinite.
I don't even want to think about the physiological changes you'd need to travel between universes.
Plus what it would do to the mind? Enlightenment? Or oblivion? Like the Hunter.
You have the opportunity to reach the closest thing to your god that might exist. And you're second-guessing it?
One doesn't approach the afterlife without some trepidation. You're right. We have to see the unity for ourselves.
I know this has been a lot for everyone to take in, but we finally have answers. Let's make the best of them.
Not to make a sharp turn in a grand tale, but I got the eye fixed up. Bruised, but still blinking. Let me know when you're ready to follow up on what it's seen. These last glimpses from the eye are from the farthest fringes of known space. Could be the only remaining pieces outside the hands of the Starborn. Catch a smile out there.
Gear looks green, ready to land.
Tunishina Research Station. You speaking. What is your business here? What? We haven't sent a distress signal? Nothing on the comms. No other ships in the system since our last supply drop. Look, what are you trying to pull here? Really? The High Energy Research Lab? Alright. I don't know what's going on here, but you should talk with the director. What's inside? Stay with me, and don't make any sudden moves. I'll get the door. Welcome to Nishina. Step forward. Scan is clear. One moment. Attention all. I am declaring a cordial. All sections are now on lockdown. Call Delta. Use out. There. Be right with you.
Ethan Hughes, Chief of Security. If you'll follow me, I'll show you to the director. We'll take the back way up.
What the? Easy! Easy! What the hell was that? What are you talking about? 1 minute, you're following me, and then you're just gone.
Minute later, you pop in out of nowhere looking like you were in the middle of a fight.
In our storage room. I should have never let you inside. What is this? Some kind of stealth tick? Who are you working for?
Look, I don't know what's going on. Let's get you to the director. Maybe she can figure this out. Come on, this way.
Who's there? Oh, thank God. Finally, someone came. The distress signal. You picked up the distress signal, right? What do you mean? Wait, how did you get in here? Hughes? Ethan Hughes? But he's dead. No. No. This doesn't make any sense. Unless the accident. Maybe this is a side effect of the accident. If the probe is still feeding power to the distortion, then... Right. We were studying a gravitational distortion. 3 months ago, I was calibrating an experiment in our high-energy research lab. There was an accident. An explosion. It caused a gas leak. Sparked a fire. I was trapped in the control room. There was nothing I could do. They're all dead. An artifact? You mean the metallic ob...
Disappear! We should... Wait!
Come on.
All right, we're on our way up. Hughes out.
I was just filling in the director.
If anything...
Let's go. This way.
This way.
Come in. Kaya Patel, Research Director. And this is our Chief Scientist, Maria Hughes. Ethan said you disappeared right in front of him. Twice now? 3 times?
Director, you can't be taking this seriously. Look, I don't know who you are or what you're doing here, but there has to be a rational explanation for all of this. Excuse me?
That is quite a claim. What makes you think that? Tell us about this other universe. Raphael. Raphael died in the accident. He...
Wait. Gas fire. Gas fire. The leak. Director, there was a hydrogen leak right after the accident. It was contained in a minute or two.
But if it hadn't been, it could well have caused an explosion.
Another universe, though. That's a lot to swallow. An artifact?
You mean the source of the distortion? You know something about it?
The multiverse. Other universes?
At least one other universe, clearly. And you have some connection with them, then. Interesting. I wonder if that's why this is only affecting you. This facility and the research level 2 kilometers beneath us were built to study a gravitational distortion, this artifact and the field it creates. 3 months ago, our chief engineer, Raphael, was calibrating an experimental probe when something went wrong.
We still don't know what happened. There was a series of explosions, and somehow it's still running. That would make sense. That's why the field strength keeps increasing. We have a control unit for the probe. After the accident, I tried to use it to shut down the system, but the kill switch isn't responding. We could shut it off manually, but the entire research level is locked down. We can't even get down there. How? I told you the research level's locked down. We can't even use the damn elevator. What?
Clever. In this other universe, Raphael survived. He made it back from the lab, so clearly his elevator works. Take it, and you might be able to shut down the experiment.
This is crazy.
But first, we have to do something about your shifting.
We can't shut down the probe, but we might be. It's risky. We don't know what we're dealing with, but... All right. It's worth a try.
Then it sounds like we have a plan.
Come with me. The control unit is in the fabrication lab next door. What have we gotten ourselves into?
Oh, what happened? You disappeared, and the ceiling caved in, and... I thought I'd finally lost it. What? How? Look, if you think things are bad up here, the research level is even worse. I barely made it out, and that was months ago. I don't understand any of this. If I hadn't seen you disappear with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. Okay. You're my ticket out of here. We'll do this your way. We can get out through the pantry. Here's the key. I'll back you up, I guess.
What the? Security breach! Go! Everybody out!
For it!
Out of my way!
Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Look at this. It's going to take hours to clear this out. Assuming the rest of the building doesn't come down on top of us. I'm not sure. It might stop whatever's happening to you. It's a reasonable theory, I guess. They're a native species. We had an electric pulse field to keep them out. The fire took out the generators, damaged the foundation. They just keep coming. I was in the lab, working on the frequency calibration for the probe. I was walking out of the control room when it happened. I heard the tanks rupture. The alarm sound. I only had a second to react. I jumped back into the control room. The doors sealed. I was safe. From the gas, the fire, everything. But I was trapped. There was nothing I could do to stop it. If I had gone the other way, maybe I could have made it to the ventilation controls. Killed the system. Even... I don't know. I don't want to... How should I know? You're the one who keeps winking in and out of existence. I just want to get out of here. Go do whatever you're going to do. I'll...
What? Oh, it's you. You realize you just popped into my locked office. So much for security protocols. Sure. Down the hall. Take the stairs next.
Yeah, let me get the doors for you. And done. Is that it? Yes, Kataxi. The original survey team ran across them. You're welcome to read the old logs if you want. The Kataxi in the other universe. I've got an experimental thing, one of the engineers. That's what I'm hoping. Maybe we can work something out. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I'm trying to be reasonable here. All right. Yeah. It's never been field tested, but all yours. Bigger than you'd expect. We've got a particle accelerator. Real state-of-the-art. That's right. Has been since the accident. We can't connect to the control system to override it. The whole system's on a head trigger. Cameras spot anyone not in the staff database. They fire off an alarm and all hell breaks loose.
What, did you get lost in the hallway? Alright, this is the probe control unit. Most of these controls aren't responding. I'm going to very carefully adjust the settings I can. There's no way to tell what's about to happen. Pay attention. I'll begin by adjusting the energy feed of the electron beam array. We're at 93 terabytes. Calibrating to 95, 97, 100. Nothing. Let's try the other way. 91, 89. What the? Okay. It looks safe to approach. What in the world? It's a microdistortion. Flux pattern matches the distortion in the lab. The setting is just exposing it somehow. Step into the distortion, please. Nothing. No, hold on. There's a slight pattern change. Some kind of resonance. All right, stay there. Let me turn the feedback up for a moment. Calibrating to 90, 91. What happened? Are you all right? So, the lower setting causes the distortions to manifest, and the higher causes you to shift. That seems promising. Keep it on the lower setting until you want to shift, and you should be able to avoid any more accidents. I'd give you my control unit, but it looks like you already have one from the... Love to take a look at that when this is all... Right. If you can get down to the research level, you need to make your way to the high-energy research lab. Disengage the power interlocks, then pull the emergency shutdown to stop the probe. That should finally put an end to all this. Oh, and before you go, the director wanted to... It really is just down the hall.
Well then, all set? If you need supplies, I've asked Dr. Barakova to take care of you. It's the least I can do after everything. Before you go, there is one... If this experiment is the cause of your shifting, when you shut it down, the shifting will stop. What happens then? To you and to us. Nishina is a closed system. Two potential states held in tension. When you shut down the experiment, that tension will resolve. You are the outside observer in the system. Whichever reality you are in, at that moment, is what will become real. For you and your universe, at least. The question is, which will you choose? If this were a choice between my life and Raphael's, But as the director of the station, I am responsible for the lives of my staff. 30 people. People you don't have to decide now. But when the time comes. Now, it's time you are going. With the network... Ethan? Unlock the elevator.
Ma'am? Research level is still locked down.
I'm aware of that. Good luck, dear.
Tatiana Barakova, station's doctor. This is not a public medical facility, but the director has ordered me to assist you nonetheless. I can spare a few minutes. Beyond that, I am not your therapist. Excuse me? Perhaps you'd care to try a dead-end medical post on some godforsaken planet in the middle of nowhere. Huh? 6-year surgical residency. And I spend my days treating paper cuts and hurt feelings for a bunch of mathematicians and physicists. And now I have to deal with some spacer who thinks they're jumping between universes. With what? A splinter? No. Stop wasting my time. I think I still have a few things I could... Really? With what? A splinter? Hey.
Howdy.
Security lockdown is active. Emergency override controls are available on designated security terminals. A security lockdown is active. Emergency override controls.
failure.
Controls are available on designated security terminals.
System failure. Being advised, this is now
Security incident resolved. The security lockdown has been terminated.
Ah, there you are. Welcome. Ethan, how are we doing?
Research levels back online. Definitely some damage, but it could be a lot worse.
This is a lot to take in. Artifacts, multiple universes.
Look on the bright side, dear. Just imagine the papers you'll publish.
If anyone even believes us.
I am curious, though. Maybe so. Our next supply ship will be arriving soon. For now, I thank you.
Let's put this bird on the ground.
Before I make you. You're going down.
Engine spin-up time almost complete. Total time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding, Nova?
We double-checked the leakage concerns this morning before the launch. All signs green.
Any changes to the calculation sequence from Voltaire?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle of science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Canaveral, are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes. Afraid the speed of light is on the slow side these days.
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years, Nova.
Station log. The station log. Station log. Dr. Judith Satien. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was just to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window. just don't understand where these calculations came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects. No motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
This report in high trouble. Ability of enemy damage.
Project Log.
Project Log. Dr. Judith...
Project Log. Dr. Victor Isa.
Project Log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I watched the Gravjet tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing hundreds of drives. Expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all the side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. was right, and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
Surface of Earth. We need to discuss what you've found.
And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company. Stars, thank you. Strange patience, always another test. Time and space, fool. Open. Eternity. Time and space, fool.
understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlock the secret of interstellar travel. At the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems? Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifacts forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? And what gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That's why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself.
Don't be a fool. The emissary and I may have our differences, but you do not want to give us a common enemy.
For once, he's right. Don't do this. We can collect the final pieces together.
Well, look at that. The emissary just became my new best friend.
You've made your choice. When you're ready, the Hunter and I will be at the buried temple. That's where we'll settle things.
Meaning, we'll kill you. But hey, at least we'll wait till you get there. Everyone deserves a shot at the final artifact.